Welcome to Homesteading, a dime at a time. I'm Bernie, and we're going to do a walk around today while I just talk about some things that we've been doing around the farm. I'll be honest with you, I don't really have any footage for this week, so this is going to be the Sunday video for tomorrow. So here we go. One of the things we did, which will show you a before picture after, this bush and this bush, and then I'll just quickly take you to the other bush here. Just do a walk. These are lilac bushes. Where is it? There's the other. So these are lilac bushes, and this is the other lilac bush. These are potatoes that I just thought I would try to grow here. So these bushes here, this one and this one, what we did was we drove up the road and we noticed that there's a lilac bush across the way in, as we call it, Queensland. So that means you can't build houses on that land. And I'll just walk out and show you the land actually. So as I'm walking here, I can't remember what these silver plants are called, wolf something, but regardless, this pasture here, it's all Queensland, which again means you can't build on it. So way down the road, there's a bit of a corral, and further beyond that, there were some lilac bushes. And so there's always cows in here. You can't see the cows today. They're who knows where. But what we did was, I'm just going to walk back. We wanted the lilac bushes. We wanted to get rid of the big ugly bushes that were there. We wanted to get rid of them since we got here actually, but we've had nothing to replace them with. So we saw the lilacs and we thought we'd transplant them, and so that's what we did. Luckily for us, it's a rainy season, so they're getting lots of rain. So all is good there. So that's the one thing we did. That was a big job. We needed the tractor to pull out the other bushes. They were that deep. So the other thing that we've done is, I'm going to show you, we started the siding on the commercial building, commercial kitchen. So it's going to be a funky siding. One day, if I ever remember, I'll take a picture of Buddy's siding down the road. It's a farmer, he's been here forever. And on his roof, he has different color siding, so it's like green and orange and white and yellow, all on the roof of his building, and you can clearly see it from the road. So what we're going to do is, we put, and don't mind that it's crooked, the ground is crooked, the camera is not straight, the building is perfectly level. Even though it doesn't look level, it is level. These things happen. So what we're doing is we're putting all the brown we have on the front. Now we still have to do up top there, which we'll do, but the bottom you see has still got the tie vac. There's a deck going on there, so we're not actually going to the bottom because that will all be covered with decking material. Now over there is some other gray, and I'll just quickly walk over there and show you. This is going on. We're going to have like a multicolored building here. Like, this is the side where the door is, and what we're going to do on this side, because, you know, dime at a time, we're going to put the gray and the lighter, well actually that's a brown gray, whatever color you want to call it, then the bluish gray, then you have a sandy color, and then we're also going to have two of these left. We're going to side the door side with that. And I'm going to put up my hood here. It's all wet! We're just going to go through here, our little secret garden. More like a mess. Oh. Now I'm all wet. I'm just going to back up a bit. This is all siding. Now, for some people, you'd go, oh, for cripe's sakes. Well, you know what? We got this for a steal. I think we got all this siding for about 80 bucks. Okay? The only thing we had to buy was corner pieces. And yeah, clearly it's not all the same color. Okay, look at it. It's not all the same color. I don't know if you can see the color differences. Surely you can see it from there to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out. We're actually going to go through this again and see if we have the right colors to do all of the side with the door as one color. And then we'll just mix and match pieces because some of the siding is not the same as other parts of the siding. So we have to figure out what we can use and what we can't. Okay, I'm just going to go through the garden again. Oh, not the garden, the secret garden area. Okay. So that's the caraganas. Like right now I'm standing behind the caraganas. They're not in bloom anymore. There are maybe a few blooms left, but they're leaving. Anyway, with the siding, like I said, we got it for 80 bucks, dime at a time. It's been sitting there for 2 years, and finally we have a chance to use it. So we don't really care what the building outside looks like. We can always change that. We just need it sided to protect it, and whatever color is good. People are going to be coming up to the front of the building, and honestly, that side that you see right now, that's the most important side. So that's all one color. And then we're just going to mix and match and see what we got to do the rest of it. And the back, well, let's just go to the back here. The back of the Candy Shack doesn't actually matter what colors they are. They can be multicolored, rainbow, doesn't matter. Because seriously, who's going to know? So this is the back. Sorry, I was just looking at something. This is the back. There's the pipe coming out. For some reason, I've never seen that pipe come out before. Oy, maybe I just had a bad sleep. Who knows? Okay, so that's the siding. We're in the process of doing that when it decides to stop raining. The other thing we did, this is a gas pipe. Now, no dime at a time here, folks. We saved 20 bucks on this gas line. It goes here. Well, 20 bucks on the line itself. I'm not talking about how much it costs because how much it costs with the digging and everything. The line itself, 20 bucks off is what we got. And then you can see that I'm just gonna, so that red cap is the other end of the line. And we dug it. Well, be clear. As you can see in our other video, this was all done. Let me go here. Oh, there goes our neighbor. This was all done by the tractor. And this dig was done by hand. We still have to fill it in more. This dig was done by hand. Okay, so that's the one thing we did. We thought that this would take us like a week, because you know, who the heck wants to dig an 18-inch trench, right? We did it in a day. So that's the gas line is in for the Candy Shack. And I should show you one more thing. Now, we didn't, in terms of the gas line, because we didn't need the gas line urgent, we got $20 off, or $40 off. Hey, 40 bucks is 40 bucks, right? Ew, spider. This is going to be a pipe for the water line. The water line is going to go in that pipe. So I don't know. This is the water line going into the Candy Shack. That's the water line going into the Candy Shack. And then we dug a trench, and we came along, where are we here? We came along the edge, like not quite the edge, you can see the concrete. So we dug right beside the concrete, and this is going in here. Now, we have to dig a hole, so we have to move all this glass. We're going to have to dig a hole in here, and it's going to go into the basement, and then it's going to attach. We have to get the proper drill, so that's going to cost 40 bucks. Which is not a big expense. We just haven't done it yet. So the gas line with heat tape is going to go in there. See, the end is covered so nothing gets in. And then once we've got everything in that line, then we will finish burying it and attaching it to the house. And this glass is going to be used for a type of greenhouse, solarium, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, right words, on the other side of the house at some point. At least that's what we've got it done for. So we've had that for about 1.5 years now, and it's just going to sit there, but we do have to move it in order to put the water line in. So that's the other thing that we're doing. We took some regular eating grapes and we planted them. Now, we had chickens in this stretch last year and they dug up all the other grape plants. So I'm just going to let this one go, and then we're going to get more grapes in the fall and we'll plant more next year. So this is going to be an edible grape, okay, totally free. These raspberry plants, okay, there weren't as many last year. All of these plants we got for free, and we keep a lookout for free raspberry plants, and as they come available we just grab them up. And what I did was I just tilled this area. I'm going to just stand back a bit. We tilled this area last year, and then we just planted the raspberries in here. Now you can see other plants. Well, we have bees in the back, so the flowers can stay. Weeds are not. They're flowering. It's good for the bees. They can stay. All right, let's head back to the gardens. We're coming up to the garden, which is AKA the weed pit. We did do this garden, and I think we have it in a video. I'm not really sure. Hard to see because of the sun glare. But this is the garden, and it goes down to the last yellow pole. If you can, let me just lean over here. It goes down to the last yellow pole, and down there is just potatoes. So in order, it's potatoes, sunflowers, corn, pumpkins, squash, another row of early squash. There's cucumbers in here, there's beans in here, peas in here, more potatoes over here. And yeah, I call it a weed patch because look at it. But I'm trying to get ready for the commercial kitchen, and somebody mentioned ciabatta bread, so I've been going crazy trying to make ciabatta bread. Every day I'm baking bread now with French baguettes. Ugh. Anyway, what we did here, getting off the babble, that whole fence line, with some shitty wood too, you can see, right? We just repurposed what we had, and it's working. We fenced off the garden. Now, some of this is made so we can just easily take it down and re-till the garden, but we did this so the cows couldn't get in. Sometimes barbed wire is just simply not good enough. Over here, I'm just going to stand back a bit. We re-tilled. I was supposed to put catnip in here this year. I never got around to it. Go figure, I'm so busy making bread. But what we did we did put potatoes in here, 2, 3, 4 rows worth. And we'll go up closer and take a look at that. These ones actually, these potatoes have not been getting watered. The only water they're getting is from rain. And what we had to do here is we used barbed wire, and we just fenced this off, you know, for the cows, they can't get in. And then we repurposed a wire gate here, and we just put it as sort of our gate to get in and out. So here's some of the potato plants. And they're growing quite nice. The other thing which is pretty cool, you know, these potatoes, we didn't buy any seed potatoes this year. We never got around to doing anything with the potatoes we had last year, and they all went to seed. So we just left them in the pantry, seeding away. We had a jungle in there, but we used all of those to plant the potatoes. And then we even gave some away because we just had too much. Okay. So now that we have a tractor as well, and you've seen this before, but I want to give you like a little bit of an update as to how it's going. We've got 3 piles of gunk in here. Shit, really. Manure, straw, hay, the whole kit. And Greg comes along once a week and turns these piles. And we should just maybe stick my finger in and see what we're up to. Yeah, that's what people do around here. They stick their finger in shit piles. Yeah, it's warm. If you can get down, it starts to get warm, and I'm sure if I went deeper, it would get hot. But eventually here, that's going to turn to earth that we can use. It's free, and it's all from our cows. Here's the other one. And that makes all the difference when you say that, right? It's from our cows. We know what we feed our cows. We know what our cows eat. And that's the beauty of it. All right, I'm going to turn this off and come back in a bit. I have a bit of walking to do. I'm actually going to show you some fencing that we've been doing to make more pastures. Be back in a bit. While I'm walking to the new area we made for the cows, that barbed wire that we put on the garden looks brand new, doesn't it? Well, we bought that about a year or two ago, and because we're running jerseys, it's not the strongest barbed wire, but our cows, no big deal. And even though we have a Charlet, he's as long as he's contented, he doesn't bust fences. He's never busted them. So I want to show you something. We have never let the cows into this back area. Do you see where the cows are there? We've never let them into that back area. So we had to fence all that. The problem is that, well, I mean, we have grass on the ground here. Let me just walk a ways away. Here we're going. Okay, you can basically see the pasture there. They've eaten down the grass. Major, big time. We desperately needed to find pasture for them instead of working on the candy shack, which is important. The cows are important too, and the cows are somewhat more important. At Jersey, there's the bull, that's Rusty. That cow he's beside is Daisy. Now, I'm not recommending to anybody who's homesteading to go and, raise up a Jersey bull. So the points I'm going to make about owning your own Jersey bull, he's a bottle-fed bull. And I know people say, oh my God, bottle-fed bulls, don't do it. We don't turn our back on him, okay? Like, let's just say it as it is. We don't turn our back on him. And I'm going to move this a bit, actually, because there's Jamie, our Jersey, the retired Jersey milk cow. Anyway, we don't turn our back on him, but he still loves to come for his scratches and all the rest of it. So I'd let the traffic go by there. He's a good bull, but the thing is, we're gonna take the risk of having the Jersey bull, and actually we have two Jersey bulls. One is bigger than the other. But the thing is, we don't have to bring our cows anywhere to get them bred if we want them, one, bred back to Jersey, and two, bred at all. Because now, if you don't have a truck and trailer, which we do not have a truck and trailer, we're gonna have to go borrow one. And it becomes a pain in the butt for the person we're borrowing from, and for us to have to go get it and do all of that and bring it home when we're done, blah, blah, blah. Having a Jersey bull is great because this year when I decided it was time to breed, and how I did that was, I looked at a gestation calculator for the cows. I put in the date I wanted to put them in with the bull, and then I looked at their due date. And then I decided what I was happy with as a due date. And how I figured that out is, I'm in Alberta, winters are cold, when do I want to start milking, right? And that's how I did it, because I don't have a heated milking parlor or milk stall that I can go into. It was very important for me that they were bred at the right time, for me. It was really handy. I just opened the gates, let the girls go with him and with the other little bull. And life is grand. They'll get bred. Hopefully Jamie will take. And then we've got bred cows back to Jersey. So all is good. All right. So he's actually cost effective in a way. Because I don't have to pay for semen. I don't have to pay for AI. I don't have to pay for somebody like to rent their bull or to put my cows to their bull. Now, that cow, where's my finger? That cow that Rusty is hiding in front of, we're charging a fee for her to be here for 2 months. to get bred by Rusty, and I guarantee you she'll probably be back next year. We were going to denut Rusty and make him a steer, but we're probably going to leave him because now he's become a source of revenue, right? So there you have it. And we might actually next year just see if we can rent him out again to other people, and we'll make some money off our bull. Yeah, she must be coming into her cycle soon, because he was leaving her alone for the longest time, and now he's back side by side with her. Since I'm walking by the bees, I thought I would stop here. We put one honey super on each of our 2 new bee boxes, or hives. We got 2 new nooks. We put them in, we do double deeps, so they'll have brood and honey between those 2 blue boxes, and then we just threw 1 honey super each on top of them. We really don't expect to get anything, but if they draw them out, then all is good. We're doing cut combs, so where's my finger? There's a strip about 1.5 inches of real beeswax in each frame of the honey supers, and the hope is that they're going to draw them out, and then we'll just do cut comb. All the hives are doing great. No problems. Everybody's alive. The split that we did, we let them make their own queen, and they did so, and they are building like crazy. Close to me, here's the fence line. It's that next fence line you see. There's another little area the cows don't have access to. But that fence line, we repaired it, put up some fencing, we repurposed that big wood gate there. We repurposed that gate. It's been lying down for this will be the 5th summer. It was down when we got here, so we repurposed that, put it back. There is some loose fencing there, but that's all high tensile. We will be pulling that out and just leaving the barbed wire. So this fence, as you can see the tree line there, tree line, tree line, tree line, and then you start to see the fence. That fence runs all the way to the back. And don't confuse it with that fence line, because that's for this pasture, and where's my hand? For that pasture. But there's another pasture over there, and that will go all the way to the highway. So when they're finished, I just don't want to walk all that way. Not today. When they're finished eating where they are now, we will open them up and let them into that pasture, and then they will have eating for a long time. And then by that time, oh my God, see where those, it's hard to see because of the sun, but that tree line there's another pasture on the other side of it. Oh, wait a minute, where's my fingers? Those trees over there's another pasture on the other side of those trees, and you can see the fence line down there. Okay, so by the time the cows are finished eating all of that, they're going to go back to the original first pasture, and that's where they're going to stay. And then by that time, all the other pastures will be good. So in actual fact, just in case you're wondering, we have pasture 1 where the trees are. There's pasture 2 right here. Pasture, where's the fence? So across that fence line, there's a pasture. And then where the trees are, there's another one. So we actually have 4 large sections. And then, as you can see where the cows are, some of those are broken up into smaller sections. And all those trees, the bees are at the head of those trees. The last 2 days, we have been out here fencing that far back fence line, just fixing it, putting up gates, making sure that they can't come into where we want to hay, and we did all that. And thank goodness we did, because I don't know if it's going to rain or not today. We're just going to talk about homesteading. We're not talking about big farmers or anything like that. When you're homesteading, you really have to decide where your priorities are. And for us, a priority was getting the cows to grass, right? Because you don't want to feed your cows hay, so you need to rotate your pastures. So that's what we're doing, and we're doing it a bit late this year The rain has been horrific here. Well, good, because our pastures are growing and our garden's growing, but it's always raining, right? And our tomatoes look horrifying because they're not getting enough heat and sun. But regardless, you have to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. So yeah, I need that Candy Shack finished, that commercial kitchen, but the cows need to eat. So drop everything, go do fencing, fix up some pastures for the cows, and we managed to fix up 2 pastures for the cows. So all is good, right? You just gotta do what needs to be done. It's as simple as that. And it'll all get done, it's just time. So right now, we're gonna go back to work on the Candy Shack. Probably not today. I'm in the middle of making ciabatta right now, and then I have to go do the dough for French baguettes, which will sit proofing in the fridge till tomorrow. That's a 3-day process. I mean, everything has to get done at once, but I can make the bread and do fencing, but I can't really make the bread and work on the Candy Shack and do fencing. Something has to give. In terms of the Candy Shack right now, we're waiting for the plumber to come in to do the gas lines, so we're kind of at a standstill. And the only thing we really have left, other than the setup itself, is the gas line, the water line, and counters. And once all that's done, we can actually start setting up the shack and getting it going. And even before we set it up, once the ovens are cleaned and the cooler is cleaned, the counters are built, the water's done, the gas is done, I can actually start cooking in there. Oh man, I can't wait. So that's what we've been up to at the Candy Shack, and that's how come some of our videos, you know, like today it's a scramble to get a video up. We've been really busy, and sometimes you just don't have time to grab the camera and set up. Like, it is hard to actually film some of the stuff you're doing all the time, and it adds time to whatever you're doing. And if anybody says it doesn't, I'm surprised. But we needed to get stuff done and quickly, and I wasn't dragging out cameras to do it. Too big of a pain in the arse. But we will try to get up some cameras to finish the siding so you can see how Greg does his siding, and we'll go from there. Like we always say, if you want a homestead or you have chores to do, just give her, eh? And I'm going to give her back to the house and get that French bread done. And thanks for watching Homesteading a Dime at a Time. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, don't forget to put a thumbs up in the comments below. Take care, have a good day, and come back next Sunday for another video with Homesteading a Dime at a Time.